So a big reason Alberca may not have had the most fun in Game 2 and Game 3 was because he was matched up against our interviewee. We've got DM, who's going to be joining us from Virtus Pro. DM, good to see you
Hey
again,
guys.
buddy. It's been a year.
Thanks. Nice evening here, guys. We have.
Yeah, the okay, so DM, I want to start off. Well, I wanted to actually quickly ask you about your build in that very last game. I remember we asked you a
Mhm.
number of Timbersaw questions last year.
Mhm.
This year, I usually we see Timber Chain as the way to kind of beat Ursa and lane, but you
Mhm.
actually went 2-0-3 in order to beat Ursa. Can you tell me about that build?
To be honest, for me, it feels like Timbersaw spells are nerfed kind of hard in the current patch. So Timber is not a hero that can deal damage right now on lanes. But I lane with Snapfire and I want to deal damage. So the biggest damage dealer of the Timbersaw spells is first right now because you use it in trees and hero gets less less attack, so it's more valuable to trade with him. And also he get more damage because of the trees. So I think that's the way I build it. So I went 2-0-2, and then I went chain, so he
Oh,
don't kill me ever.
okay. Yeah, that was I was really interested to see that. That was cool. I want to talk about your the new additions to Virtus Pro in replace of the old teammates that you had. One thing that
Mhm.
we have talked about is that both Save and Nightfall had what we believe was a more of a leadership role on the previous Virtus Pro. Was that true?
Yes, it's true. I
Okay.
think mainly even safe calls were like true leader
Okay.
in current
Um,
team.
and
I mean
and
in last team.
in that case, how is the new roster going with them leaving, and now you have Pure and Yamich? Are they slotting in? Are they being active voices, or is somebody else on the team stepping up in that regard?
I mean, yeah, of course, nowadays new guys also talking a lot. But in current situation, in team, the guy who has best game, he is doing the calls. So it can be me, it can be GPK, it can be Pure, but mostly like early game right now, me, GPK, and Yamich are trying to do like the main calls
Okay, so you guys.
because our heroes are focused on leading the early game, and Pure is safe laner, so he shouldn't call too much early on. He's connecting a bit later when he gets his timings.
And who's leading the drafting for you guys?
Drafting is about our coach specialty,
Okay.
so he's drafting, and we're talking about heroes a lot, basically. But the drafts he's doing himself.
Okay. I've got Sheepstick as well as Fear, who also have some questions.
Yeah, on the topic of drafting, I was wondering why you guys went Timbersaw in the third game instead of OD, which you tried in the first game. If you can divulge.
Uh, yeah, because I think that Timbersaw lane is much better against Kanka safe lane, which we expected them to pick than ODs.
Okay.
Like this team has a very good safe lane Kanka player, and we were expecting them to pick Kanka for position 1. But I know that no matter what hero he picks, I'm okay on Timber against any others. But my OD experience is much less, so he could counter pick me and make me have a worse situation that I want with OD pick. So I just was super comfortable with this hero and I picked it.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. My question, I guess we've asked a lot of teams this one now, is the general feel of the Eastern European. Like, what would you say the power rankings are right now for, like, top 3 strongest teams in the region right now for you guys?
To be honest, I can say only that Team Spirit didn't change their roster and they're like shining on this qualifiers. Basically, they're the strongest, and I can't say anything else about the other teams because every single game I watch and some of the games I play, they're kinda random. So
Right.
I cannot make any top 3. I can say only current top 1.
So it's
It's
like
Team
really
Spirit.
close outside of Spirit, you would say.
Yeah, yeah. It's everything super close. I think every team can beat each other.
I actually had a question about your guys' last series. You guys ended up losing to Hellraisers 2-1. Is there anything that you can say pertaining to that series that you felt like went wrong for you guys, or anything that you learned from that series, perhaps?
I can say that first game we didn't play exactly our comfortable draft, and we work in the passive, I would say.
Okay.
So it was about the first game. Second game we had a decent draft and we performed pretty well. And about the third game, I think we just did bad movements in the first 10 minutes. So the game didn't went so well as we expected.
Okay.
Like if you remember this game, I have Team Pursuit against Ursa, and I had pretty same matchup against Hellraisers. And this game, like we just did other stuff, and the game went absolutely different.
Yeah, it went very, very different. So, well, thank you so much, DM, for coming on. It's always a pleasure being able to talk to you for interviews.
Thank you guys.
All right.
Have a
Bye-bye.
nice evening.
You
Bye.
too. DM is lovely.